This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Luca Cairns-Library, filling in for Marissa Roberto, and the Connor McDavid contract shocked the hockey world yesterday. But now that the dust has settled, let's dive a little deeper into the contract. 97 will be staying in town for at least another 2 years, but it didn't cost Edmonton nearly as much as anyone was expecting, as the extension came in at just $12.5 million. Now, that is still a ton of money compared to other contracts, as it's actually top 5 in the league when it kicks in next year. But McDavid left millions on the table, giving Edmonton a ton of flexibility. And as Craig Button put it, McDavid could have gotten whatever term and salary he wanted, but he made good on his word on wanting to win. Now, this type of move by a star is rare, as we've only seen a generational talent do it once before, and that, of course, is Sidney Crosby, who's had the same $8.7 million AAV for almost his entire career. But interestingly enough, McDavid's move was even more advantageous for the Oilers than Crosby's was for the Penguins, and that's because the cap is expected to go way up. And McDavid's cap percentage is actually lower than Crosby's on both of their second contracts. If they don't win in 2 years, pressure right now is on management, because the surrounding pieces, it just feels like they've taken McDavid and Draisaitl a bit for granted, because it's just like, yeah, we could put anyone around these guys and make it to the Stanley Cup final. Well, don't do that anymore. You've got the flexibility to actually make impactful moves, put guys around them, because that's clearly what they need to get over the hump. They can't just do it all. And we've seen that in 2 straight Stanley Cup finals. To baseball, and after what felt like an eternity of an off day. The Jays are in New York for Game 3 of the ALDS tonight, and let's just get a little bit of math out of the way before we really dive into this. Because in MLB playoff history, in a best of 5, if a team is up 2-0, they go on to win the series 80 of 90 times. A staggering 88.9% of the time. But wait, this math gets even better, Jays fans, because in the current 2-2-1 ALDS format, teams that go up 2-0 have gone on to win the series 31 of 34 times. That's just over 91%. And those teams went on to sweep 20 times. However, the last team to come back from down 2-0 in the ALDS was the 2017 Yankees, who lost a round later in the ALCS to the eventual World Series champion Astros. That's my best garbage can banging impression. Now, as we told you yesterday, it's going to be Shane Bieber on the bump for Toronto against Carlos Rodon for the Yankees. And this is the exact reason Toronto made that big move acquiring Bieber at the deadline. Now, for each of these teams, they'll go as far as their sluggers. And Vladdy is definitely winning that battle so far. Judge has good numbers, but look at how small they look compared to what Vladdy is doing right now. And Judge also hasn't been hitting for power, as he has just 1 extra base hit so far in these playoffs, and only 2 RBI. The Jays are small dogs tonight at Yankee Stadium on FanDuel, the total set at 7.5. Back to the ice, and regular season hockey returns tonight. And we've got an exciting triple header to look forward to. First, we've got the Stanley Cup champion Panthers taking on the Blackhawks. And our focus on that was on Connor Bedard, and whether or not he can make a 3rd-year jump. Bedard's been solid in his first 2 seasons, but it hasn't translated to winning at all, as the Hawks haven't even won 50 games in the 2 years combined. Now, year 3 is typically when a young star will put it all together. And if Bedard follows suit, then Chicago could surprise some people. We've also got the Pens in New York taking on the Rangers tonight, where all eyes have to be on Sidney Crosby for this season, and his chase of Mario Lemieux to become the Penguins' all-time leading point scorer. Sid comes in just 36 points away, so barring any major injury, he'll get there, and sooner rather than later. And finally, we've got my Avs in LA to take on the Kings. And this one kicks off the farewell tour of Anze Kopitar. Like Sid, Kopitar's narrowing in on a franchise points record. And after officially announcing his retirement a few weeks ago, he's got just 1 season to do it. Time now for one stat to tell the group chat. And this stat's kind of crazy. It's really hard to believe. The New York Jets have yet to get a takeaway this season, and they are the first team since turnovers officially became a stat back in 1933 to not have a takeaway through a team's first 5 games. What a disaster. You hire a defensive head coach for this reason. You signed Sauce Gardner to an extension for this reason. You invest in that side of the ball clearly with your offseason moves for this reason, to get takeaways, and now you have none of that. That's an abject disaster. Time now for my favorite segment, and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
And let's take a look at one of the most beautiful golf courses these eyes have ever seen. Hey, you got to get creative sometimes. Golf's an expensive sport. You may as well play it in a place you've got room. I feel like I never did this version of it, but I played sock golf growing up as a kid. Like, you just get a laundry basket and get some socks, and you put the laundry basket in different places in the house. Golf ball could break some stuff inside, so socks, pretty good for not causing a mess. That's all for today. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. Have a great day.